was that? I hope it wasn't a black cat. I think a black cat just crossed my path. They say that's bad luck. And oh, I think I hear howling. I hope I don't have a ghost. Oh, I got a black spider crawling across my table. Oh, well, at least I took care of that problem. Hello there. Welcome to Grandma Kitty's house, and I'm Grandma Kitty, of course. I'm just a little spooked out today. You see, I was reading some Halloween stories, and Halloween is coming, and Halloween stories can be a little scary, can't they? Yeah, so it got me kind of spooked out. Yeah, do you like scary Halloween things? There's a lot of things about Halloween that can be scary. Yeah, I'm not one who necessarily likes the scary parts. I did go trick-or-treating as a kid, but I did it so I could get the free candy. Oh, but Halloween can be a lot of fun as long as you don't get too spooked out. Oh, speaking of spooky, I have a story here I wanted to share with you. Oh, this is about Mickey Mouse, so this shouldn't be too spooky, but this is called Mickey's Spooky Night, and of course it's a Disney story. So let's read that together, shall we? Mickey Mouse looked around his living room. It was decorated with ghosts, spiders, and bats. A jack-o'-lantern smiled at him from the mantelpiece. I am gonna have a great Halloween party tonight. Mickey tacked one last fake cobweb to the wall. Now it's time to make the popcorn balls. Mickey went to the kitchen and began making some popcorn. Then he noticed something moving around in the yard. He picked up a candle and opened the door slowly. Mickey looked around. The moon was out and it was windy. The branches and leaves were making strange shadows. Gosh, I'm just being silly, he said, and he went back inside. Mickey glanced at the clock. It's almost time for the party and I haven't gotten ready yet. Now where did I put that old pirate costume? Mickey went upstairs. Then he went up a ladder into the dark attic. As soon as he switched on the light, thunder crashed. Lightning flashed across the sky. As Mickey looked around, he noticed something tall in the corner. He crept closer. A large ghostly shadow fell over him. Hello? Lightning flashed again, and Mickey saw the thing he'd been scared of. It was a coat rack with a sheet over it. Mickey went over to an old trunk. I'll bet my pirate costume's in here. He brushed off the dust, but there was so much that it tickled his nose, and he sneezed. Mickey turned the key in the rusty old lock and opened the trunk. A skeleton popped out. Ah! Mickey jumped back. Then he realized it was just a plastic party decoration. Whew, guess that was a Halloween joke on me. This skeleton will be perfect for my party. Mickey rummaged around. I better take the whole trunk downstairs. There's a lot of cool Halloween stuff in here. Meanwhile, in Mickey's backyard, Pluto was chasing a ball this way and that. As he charged under the clothesline, one of the sheets came loose from the line and fell on him. It covered him from head to tail. It looks like a ghost, doesn't it? Suddenly, rain began to fall. The wet sheet stuck to Pluto like glue. He ran all over the yard, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't shake it off, and he couldn't see anything either. Donald Duck, Goofy, Minnie Mouse, and Daisy Duck drove up to Mickey's house. Goofy peered out the window. Gosh, look at the lightning! Daisy giggled nervously. It's a very spooky Halloween night, but Minnie had a plan. Let's run right into the house. The thunder and lightning went crazy as Mickey's friends hurried inside. Mickey, we're here! But there was no answer. Mickey was too far upstairs to hear anything over the sounds of the storm. Just then, the lights went out. Uh-oh. Then Mickey's friends heard weird thumping sounds above them. Minnie gasped, what was that? Something big and heavy was being dragged across the floor upstairs. It sounds like a coffin being dragged across Mickey's room. What? Now Donald was getting nervous. Between the storm, the dark, and the noises, it felt a little like they were in a haunted house. Up in the attic, Mickey stopped dragging the trunk around and decided to look for a flashlight. He walked into a huge cobweb. Yikes, these spider webs are all over the place. Finally, he found a candle and some matches. Meanwhile, in the backyard, poor Pluto was still stuck under the sheet. He couldn't see to find his doggy door. From inside, Daisy looked around. What's that sound? Just then something weird and white ran past the window. Goofy gasped. Daisy stared in surprise. It's a ghost. Mickey's friends were too scared to even scream. By then, Mickey had changed into his pirate costume. He slowly headed down the dark staircase carrying the skeleton. Mickey's friends heard shuffling feet and rattling bones. They looked up to see a horrible monster coming toward them. They hid behind a chair. Suddenly, the lights came back on. Mickey realized his friends were there. Gosh, hiya, gang. Minnie smiled. Oh, Mickey, it's just you. You really scared us. We thought you were a ghost. Yes, that's a very scary costume, Daisy pointed to the hook on Mickey's hand. Daisy picked up a cupcake and smiled. Mickey, this is the scariest, most exciting Halloween ever. How did you do it? Yeah, Mickey, it's the best haunted house I've ever been in. Haunted house? A puzzled Mickey looked around. Just then, Pluto found his way in through the doggy door. He ran into the living room. Mickey and his friends looked up and saw a ghost. And boy, did they scream. Then Mickey realized it wasn't a ghost. Oh, Pluto, it's just you. Hey, boy, you're all wet. Let's get you dried off. Mickey dried Pluto with a towel and smiled at his friends. You know, with all of those ghost shadows and noises, this is the scariest Halloween ever. Oh, how did you like that story? Wasn't that cute? They had a lot of scary stuff, didn't they? Yeah. So I thought that maybe if we talked about spooky, then maybe it wouldn't seem quite so spooky. So let's talk about some of the spooky things about Halloween. Let's talk about witches. Yeah, so this is what a witch costume might look like. Yeah, so they usually have a pointy black hat. Now, I heard that all started with the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz. She had a black pointy hat, so they just started making witches costumes with hats like that. And then witches sometimes have a long pointy nose, sometimes with a wart on the end of their nose, yeah, and long black hair, and sometimes green faces. And I heard that might be from the Wizard of Oz too. Now, I heard that originally witches didn't wear clothes, so I guess we're lucky that they wear long black dresses and capes now. Yeah. You know, a lot of Disney movies have witches in them, and sometimes those witches aren't nice to children. No, but now when I was researching witches, I found a lot of scary stuff. So you want to be careful with this one. I may not be able to take the spookiness out of witches. So let's go on to something else. So how about vampires? Vampires have sharp teeth. Do you know why they have sharp teeth? So they can bite people. And they also have long black capes and black hair like witches. Yeah, but have you ever heard of do you know of any well-known vampires? How about like Count Dracula? Yeah, he became popular in 1897 when Bram Stoker wrote a horror novel, and Count Dracula was the main character. But he wasn't the first vampire. In 1819, John Polidori wrote a story about the vampire, and in 1872, there was a story about a female vampire named Carmilla. So the first vampire was actually a girl. Now, when I was a kid, they used to have a show after school called Dark Shadows, and the vampire on that one was called Barnabas Collins. But, you know, I don't know that I can make this spooky either, because spooky. Let's see what else we can. Oh, how about this one? A black cat. Yes, yeah. Black cats are pretty harmless, right? But, you know, they say never let a black cat cross your path because it's bad luck. But some countries in Europe, like Germany, France, Great Britain, they actually consider black cats to be lucky. So the Pilgrims, they thought that black cats were evil because they were black, and black is sometimes thought of as a bad color. But here's the thing, spooky is all how you perceive it, all how you see it. So some people might look at a black cat and go, oh no, it's a black cat, I hope it doesn't cross my path. And someone else might look at it and say, oh, what a pretty cat. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you, my daughter does have a black cat, and she is a very friendly cat. She always comes to the door to see me when I come, and she won't walk away until I pet her. So see, spooky doesn't necessarily need to be spooky. It's just all in the way you see it, right? All right, so that was not so spooky. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, how about a jack-o'-lantern? Now, these had a spooky start. Yeah, the tradition goes back to like the British area, like Ireland, Scotland, and they would carve pumpkins or rutabagas or turnips, and they would put lights in there, candles in there to ward off evil spirits. Yeah, so they had a spooky start. But jack-o'-lanterns don't have to be spooky, right? You can make them look silly. You can make them look happy. You can make them look goofy, right? So they don't have to be scary. So there, that one isn't necessarily spooky. How about bats? Oh, what do you think about bats? Yeah. Do you like bats? I'll be honest. They freak me out. Yeah. I know they have their purpose, and as long as they don't get too close to me, well, I'm okay with them. Yeah. But let's talk about bats a little bit and see if it helps us out. So bats are nocturnal. Do you know what that means? That means that they're awake during the nighttime and they sleep during the day. Yeah. Kind of sounds like my grandchildren. My grandchildren like to stay up at night and sleep during the day, but I don't think kids are supposed to be nocturnal. No. So bats can sometimes carry rabies, so you should never try to handle a bat because if they bite you, you would have to go to the doctors and get rabies shots. Yeah, but bats are good at eating pesky little insects and things like mosquitoes, so see, that's a good thing. Now, here's something interesting. The smallest bat is the size of a hand, and you know what its name is? Kitty's hog-nosed bat. I hope they didn't name a bat after me, maybe a cat or a dog, but I don't want a bat named after me. And the largest bat, well, he can get to be like 5 feet 7 inches from wingtip to wingtip. Oh, that's almost as tall as me. Now that would be mighty scary to see a bat that big, huh? But they're really good for the environment. They help to pollinate flowers like bees, and they help to spread seeds around, and a lot of tropical plants depend on them. So, see, bats have their purpose. So I think it is kind of spooky to see them flying around at night, but, they are useful. Oh, here's something else. A cemetery. Yeah, do you think cemeteries are spooky? Yeah, some people think that like ghosts and spirits might be wandering around in cemeteries. So originally when somebody died, they would bury them in the churchyard, and they would call it a graveyard. But when the churchyard started filling up, they had to use other spaces, other fields, and they would just call them cemeteries. So I like to walk in the cemetery. There's a lot of history in there. I like to walk around and look at the gravestones, but see, I'm not doing it at night. I suppose if you did walk in the cemetery at night, it might be a little bit spooky. Yeah. So if you want to visit a cemetery, just do it during the daytime. Yeah. It's not so spooky during the daytime. Yeah. Oh, so there are a lot of other things we can talk about that are spooky around Halloween time. Like there's ghosts and the full moon and haunted houses and skeletons and cobwebs and spiders. Yeah, but I don't necessarily find them extremely spooky. I mean, some people believe in ghosts and some don't. The full moon happens every month, right? Oh, and you do need a skeleton. Yeah. Because if you didn't have a skeleton, you'd look like a jellyfish. Yeah, you've got to have a skeleton to give your body shape. Yeah, and as far as cobwebs, my house is full of them and they don't bother me a bit. No. Oh, so spooky is all in how you perceive it. If you don't let it bother you, it won't be spooky, right? Oh, well, I think it's time to move on to Move and Groove. So today I brought a whole lot of change because this is a season of change, right? We're going from the warmer weather to the cooler weather, and the colder weather's coming. So lots of changes. So remember that your heart was made to beat, and it just loves it when you get up and move around and get some exercise. So hop up off that couch and join me. Let's see what we have here. This is a fun song. Oh, gotta turn it up.
There's a whole lot of change coming your way, 'cause like it or not, nothing stays the same. So hold on tight and follow real close. God is good and He's in control. Clap your hands like this.
Your hands.
Now do the twist. Stomp your feet the same.
Stomp those feet.
Now sing this way. Oh, 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 oh. There's a whole lot of change coming your way, 'cause like it or not, nothing stays the same. So hold on tight and follow God's rest. Stomp your feet the same. They'll shout this way. There's a whole lot of change coming your way, 'cause like it or not, nothing stays the same.
All right, how did you do? Did you get up and move and groove and get some exercise? Oh, I like that song because it's true. I mean, sometimes we don't like changes, right? Oh, but we live in a society where things are always changing, right? So we have to get used to changes because things are always changing. All right, so let's check our bee bag and see what we have in here today. So remember that our bee bag are the things we want to be, right? So let's see what we have. Oh, well, this one's very good. This one is very appropriate for today. It says to be brave. Yeah, well, we've been talking about spooky things, right? So be brave is a perfect topic for today. Yeah, in order to be brave, we have to kind of define what brave is. So let's start with, do you know what the opposite of brave is? That would be like coward, cowardly acts. Yeah, so that would be the opposite of brave, so we don't want to be a coward, right? Do you remember we were talking about the Wizard of Oz? And do you remember the Wizard of Oz? There was the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and the Lion, and they were all going to Oz to get something. And do you remember what the Lion wanted? He wanted courage, right? Yeah, he was a cowardly lion, so he wanted courage. Yeah, so look, I have a lion here. Let's see what we have here. This is Mr. Lion here. And we can pretend he's the cowardly lion and that he wants courage. Yeah, so what do you think we can tell him to help him to be brave? I think first of all, we could tell him that everyone gets scared sometimes, right? Yeah, I mean, even adults can get scared, yeah, because adults can face scary situations. Fear is just a natural part of life, yeah. So like police officers, soldiers, firefighters, they all face scary situations and they have to be brave, right? Yeah. So in order to help Mr. Lion overcome his fears, we have to kind of figure out what his fears are, right? So Mr. Lion, what are some of the things you're afraid of? Oh, he says he's afraid of the dark. Yeah, are you afraid of the dark? Yeah, well, let's talk about that. It is kind of scary at night, isn't it? Yeah, because you just can't see, right? So how do you think we can help Mr. Lion overcome his fear of the dark? What's that? Get a nightlight. Oh, very good suggestion. Yeah, I have nightlights at my house. Yeah, and they light up the room just enough so that you can see where you're going. And that's especially important if you have to get up and go to the bathroom during the night. Yeah, so nightlight is a good idea. What's that? You keep a flashlight in your bedroom? Oh, well, that's a good idea as well, yeah. And that way, you can just shine the light around and make sure everything is in its place. And same if you have to get up and go to the bathroom, you can shine it so you won't trip over something. Yeah, that's very good. So what else are you afraid of, Mr. Lion? Oh, he says he's afraid of bullies at school. Yeah, this is an important one. Yeah, sometimes there are bullies at school. Yeah, and I don't know why that is. I just don't understand why some kids feel like they have to pick on other kids and bully them. Yeah, it would be so much better if everyone tried to get along and be friends. Yeah, but you will face bullies. Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, but you will face bullies. I remember bullies when I was a kid in school, yeah. So does anyone have any suggestions for Mr. Lion? What's that? Oh, that's a very good one. Walk with a fair. That's a very good. Oh, that's a good one too. Yes. You trust, yes. Very good idea. So find like a teacher or a counselor or someone that you trust and tell them what's going on, because no one should get away with bullying. No, bullying is just not a nice thing to do, and no one should get away with that. Yeah. So Mr. Lion, what else are you afraid of? Oh yes, oh I understand that one. He says he's afraid of trying new things because he doesn't want to fail. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, no one wants to fail and make a fool out of themselves, right? So what can we tell Mr. Lion about this? Let's see. What's that? Oh, very good. Yeah, yeah. You just have to try because you won't know if you don't try, you'll never know. And that's absolutely true. I mean, how will you know you can do something if you don't try it, right? Remember like when you learned to ride your bike, right? You just had to try it. You didn't know if you could ride a bike until you tried it and you learned that you could, right? So Mr. Lion, maybe you have like musical talent and if you don't try to play an instrument, you'll never know that you can do it. Or maybe you're a good athlete and you can run fast and run marathons, but you'll never know if you don't try, right? Do you know what Grandma Kitty always says? You need to believe in yourself. Yes, you do. Yes. I mean, we all have talents and ability inside of us, right? And we need to discover what they are so we can use them. And we will never find out if we don't try. So be brave, Mr. Lion. Just take baby steps, right? Face one fear at a time. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to conquer the world all at once. Just take one little fear at a time and deal with it and take baby steps and face those fears so you can overcome them. Just build some confidence in yourselves. Oh, but here's the thing. Don't get overconfident. Yeah, don't get so confident in yourself that you do something unsafe. Yeah, you don't want to go do silly unsafe things because you're overconfident. No, just take baby steps one thing at a time and just slowly learn to be more courageous and brave. I mean, being brave, it doesn't mean you don't have fear. No, it just means that you're willing to face your fear and try to overcome it to be better. Yeah, so do you think you can do that, Mr. Lion? Oh, yeah, he says he thinks he can. I think our little pep talk helped him out. Yeah. Well, do you remember what we said about spooky? It's all how you perceive it, right? It's all how you see it. If you think something is spooky, you'll be afraid of it, right? Like black cats. I mean, some people think black cats are scary and they're afraid of them, and some people think they're pretty little critters. Yeah, and some people are afraid of cemeteries, and some people, like me, enjoy taking a peaceful walk in the cemetery. Some people are afraid of bats. And some realize that they do a lot for our environment, like eating those pesky bugs. And I don't mind bats at all as long as I don't see them in motion. I just don't want to see them flying around me. Oh, but I just have to be brave, right? Yes, and perceive it the right way. Well, I do hope you have a fun Halloween this year. Have you decided what you're going to wear? Are you going to be spooky? Yeah, I don't know what my grandchildren have decided yet, but whatever you decide to be, you have fun, be brave, and always make sure you're safe though, right? So can you say happy Halloween to all our friends? Happy Halloween, friends. Well, you take care, you stay healthy, safe, and happy, and Grandma Kitty will see you again soon. Bye-bye.